This piece I started with the intention of filling a piece of paper with as much lines as I could. I wanted to have these shapes and the shape continuing down into itself. And you can see me putting down on paper right here that exact thought, continuing tracing that outline down, down, down. Beyond that, I didn't have a color palette up to this point. I just knew I wanted this basic, rough idea, and it kind of evolved into things. At about this point, I realized that I didn't have a color scheme. I didn't have an idea of what kind of color or anything that I wanted to do, so I had to quickly figure out what I wanted to do and come up with some colors. So here I am making a little sketch, coming up with how the colors should be laid out, and then I do a little sketch card here where I do a little example, a little experiment. This one, I realized very quickly that these colors were good, but needed a little bit of refining. So I did another card here, another shape, filled it in, see what it looks like. And I used this as reference for the rest of the drawing. And you can see this up in the corner of my drawing pretty much for the rest of this time. It's a time-consuming process to fill in all 6 of these colors into all of these shapes. Of course, this first color is the most time-consuming because it has the most track around the field, so to speak. As the drawing takes shape, you can really see the dimension grow. You actually get to see the defined shapes and the negative space that's going to be left in between. Really fun to see the ink go down on paper to get those extremes fairly quickly. I apologize for how much my hair and head is in this section of the video. I didn't realize that I was in it as much as I was, but it happens sometimes. As this third color goes down, now you can really see how the piece is going to turn out. How it's going to feel, how it's going to look. At this point, I still had no intention of it becoming red blood cells or anything of the sort, but I'm always kind of looking in the back of my head for something that it looks like. Now with all of the color down on paper, it's pretty easy to see and feel how it's going to go. From here, it's the most tedious part. It's putting in all of the little lines. It's tedious, but it's enjoyable tedious. It's a mind-numbing experience that I really enjoy. The dimension that goes with these lines, that comes with these lines, is very, very satisfying. You can see the depth, the rough lines and harsh colors going away, bleeding away with just the addition of something so simple. With a time lapse, it's really interesting to see how quickly these pieces are, or these little shapes are completed, even though it takes 5-10 minutes for each one. It's just done in a few seconds here, and it's really, really interesting to see them just explode on paper. really love to see all the mistakes and chunks of lines that are inadequate, the improper use of color here and there where you can see the white in between some spots. It's nice to see all that disappear when all of these little lines go onto the paper, and it makes one uniform, very, very pretty piece rather than being lots of very chunky, kind of blocky, put together pieces. It just covers up all the imperfections and details that I don't want to be there very fast. As I complete these last two shapes, I get that moment of triumph, that glory of finishing another piece. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Check me out on Twitch and on Instagram. Here is the completed piece in all of its glory. Thanks again for watching, everyone.